Um, when it comes to learning about coaching, Ranell, how do you learn? Do you still continue to learn, and do you have any recommended resources or places for people to go to learn?
With him, but books, let me tell you about some books which you're going to get a lot of information. If you love the science like I do, so I'm like a big science geek in terms of physiology, biomechanics, physics, all those sorts of things, then this is the book for you. I pulled them out of my bookshelf for everyone. So this is called Running. This is Biomechanics and Physiology. This is a 2005 book by Bosch and Klomp. It's very science heavy. So if you love the science, this is a really big, thick book that for me, this is my second version of the book. The other one's all riddled and fallen apart. If you want speed, strength for training, David, I saw yours in terms of strength for speed development. I want to talk about that again before we go, so don't let me go away without doing that for you. This Strength Training for Speed by James Wild, this is a really good one. This is one of my friends from the UK who works in track and in football in the UK. This is a really easy to understand book. And if you're one of those coaches that just wants the program written for you, so that all the work is done, then James has done that for you. So that's called Strength Training for Speed, Principles and Practical Application. And the really cool thing is that there's some really nice stuff here about technique as well. And this is for sprinters at the beginning. So if you want a book that's really easy to understand, it's got programs in there ready to go, then Strength Training for Speed by James Wild is your book. There's a new book that's just come out, which I'm loving. I've only gotten through the first, I started on page 72 though. It's called Speed Strength. And this one is by Joel Smith, and he's actually the guy that does the podcast for Just Fly Performance. Yes, David, you know him, so that's a great podcast, right? And this book, again, it's a little bit on the sciencey. It's not as heavy science as the Running by Bosch and Klomp, but it's still a bit sciencey, but you can read through the science in this one and get to the really good stuff. They're my three favorite books in terms of developing real explosive speed in athletes. And then the Just Fly Sports Performance is really good. The Rob Pacey, the Pacey Performance Podcast is really good as well. He's just gotten onto his 300th episode, and I remember I did episode 46 with Rob back in the day, I think maybe 3-4 years ago now. That's a really good one as well. So if you're a person that loves to listen to podcasts as you're running or traveling to work or whatever it might be, they're probably the two that I would go to for speed development, and just hunt through the actual ones where you can see the speed, and they're my three books that I would go to.